Hey everybody.
Hello. So it's been a week and a half? No, not quite. Week and 2 days.
For us, it's October 17th, in the evening.
In the evening, yes. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, sorry it's been a while. The first week we were sick.
Yes, we...
And jet lagged out of our minds.
So we got here on Tuesday afternoon. So we got COVID on the way out. And Wednesday, I was out with a fever, probably from 4 p.m. until the next day. I was feeling better after that.
I was busy watching all the videos I could on how to operate the washing machine and figure out the appliances here.
Yeah, I was during the fever, I was sweating the sheets out pretty hard. Dusty figured out how to use the washing machine that only has Japanese text on it, and how to hang dry the sheets.
Hang dry is now my favorite. Although it'll be interesting figuring that out when it rains and snows, but now it's good.
Because that's how things are done here. There's using dryers to dry clothes is very non-standard.
Although apparently maybe gaining traction, but hasn't been done that way for a very long time.
Yeah. And then Dusty got some sick after that, but not as much, and so neither of us is coughing anymore, so I think we're past it.
Mm-hmm.
We've also looked at some apartments and some standalone houses, and we proposed, we put in for a contract on a very nice apartment on the top floor of a pretty luxurious building. So it's not a cheap apartment. It's a good one theoretically, but
good soundproofing in the windows.
Yes, good soundproofing, good thick windows. We'll hopefully be quiet. Yeah, looks promising, I think. But we'll report more once we've moved in.
Well, hopefully we're getting accepted, so,
Yeah, before that, we still have to, getting accepted for any kind of lease here is harder than it is in the States. Because what they want is a known quantity, which is a person with a good job, that's capital G, capital J, at a good company, capital G, capital C. That's the best kind of applicant. In the United States, money talks. If you have the cash, you can get anything. Here it's are you something we can understand? And
we don't have that. We don't have the language skills either.
We don't have the language skills, and that's a mark against us. And
There were standalone houses that wouldn't even see us
without language skills. But truth be told, it's kind of understandable. Usually the landlord is an individual who wants to be able to communicate with the tenant if there's any problems, and is worried that there's someone that, how do you tell them if something's wrong? That we have high hopes for being accepted here. We have a good realtor who is bilingual and has helped us quite a bit and will present us in the best light. What else?
On Sunday, we went to the Mustard Seed Church. So that was interesting. I actually recognized all the songs, and then they were sung in Japanese and English, and the whole service was in Japanese and English.
That was rather remarkable. You kind of come to, we've been to, Pastor Paul's church, which did services in Spanish and English, and it kind of feels like a nuisance until you're the foreign language person who needs the benefit of that.
A little bit.
Then you start to appreciate it. It seems like a good, welcoming church. We met some good people.
Made connections with an American couple who's been there a year and a half.
Yes. And they told us some of their story, and they had it really rough when they first came, because on top of all the problems we have, they also had to deal with employment in a really nasty way. They started both working for a Japanese employer who was not treating them well. Mm-hmm. They're both computer science people, and they eventually, as a team, moved over to an American employer with a Japanese branch, and they said it worked a whole lot better after that. But I can only imagine how rough it is. It sounds like they had the cheapest apartment. We can afford a little bit better. They had a nasty employer who was not treating them well, and they had no language skill. And they were confronting a job every day where like all this stuff is happening in Japanese, which they could barely understand. So compared to that, we're taking the easy street, though it doesn't feel like it right now.
Yeah, on Monday we're going to have to talk to the local government and explain why we don't yet have a permanent address, that we are looking for it, but that we don't have one yet.
Yeah, see here, unlike in the United States, the government like to know, who's living in their cities. So generally when you move into a city, within 2 weeks you're expected to notify the local government, where you're living and what you're doing there. We are kind of like in an edge case because we're expected to do that. But on the other hand, how can we if we don't have a fixed address yet? And there are a lot of weird edge cases like that where there's like different pieces that you need that don't fit together well.
Yeah, so we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to enroll in the national health insurance, get all the appliances for whenever we get accepted, get all the appliances in.
Which is mostly a fridge and washer dryer.
Yeah, but we also have to make sure the doors to these places are not standard, so we have to make sure that whatever we buy will be able to get through all the doors.
Yes, and in our case, up the elevator. Up
the elevator, yes.
Because they'll deliver it, but they won't make the door bigger. And we'll have to make sure utilities get set up. That's like water, gas, internet, electricity.
But we've already made some cool connections. In addition to the couple at the church, just tonight, okay, we were actually going to go, because there's an English Connect group that the church kind of is involved in, and we were going to go to that tonight, but we had some time to kill, so we were walking down kind of looking for where's a place where maybe we could get a beer and sit down for a little bit before we get on the subway. And so we're looking at this one place, and there's a menu, and the people inside, come in. It's a tiny little place, so they can see us, hovering. Come in.
There's 7 seats total, maybe? Or...
I think 8, but yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So these two guys basically, by force of will and personality, pull us into there, and they weren't even the proprietors, they're just regular customers.
Yeah, who had met earlier at a different English Connect event.
Yeah,
one of them is an older Japanese guy, the other one was a younger Filipino guy.
Well, he was born in the Philippines, but he's American citizen.
Yes.
Yeah, and they were there, and they apparently this restaurant does the cheapest deep fried pufferfish. And the Japanese guy loved to give his spiel about, perfectly safe in Japan, wouldn't do it in China, wouldn't do it in North Korea, wouldn't do it in Korea, wouldn't do it, all these places we wouldn't do it, but in Japan, every single place perfectly safe is controlled by the government, nobody dies from pufferfish here.
More people die from the salad in America.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. So I had some pufferfish. It was good because it was freshly deep fried in the back. That's why it was good. It's any fish that has been freshly deep fried like that is going to be amazing.
And I had a few beers and some tuna sashimi, which was very nice. And we talked with them for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we ended up not going to the thing we planned because we had a whole different English Connect night just
randomly happened
to us, and now we're connected with them, and we have more places to go, and they told us about their not their organization, but the one they're a part of, where they met, where they do language exchange, and so we have what we could go 4 days a week to places like this if we wanted to
language exchanges, to meet people and spend time until our language classes begin. We're still planning to either in a few weeks or in more than a few weeks, we'll start taking daily Japanese classes.
Yeah, but we want to get properly settled.
Yes. So,
because it's hard enough to study when you don't have to set up utilities and move everything into an apartment, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to be focused.
So we've also just been enjoying the local food, which is insane. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. And you eat your fill in one place, and then you start walking down the street, and then you see 5 more places that look good.
Yes, and then 10 more, and then 20 more, and it just keeps coming. And it's like everything everywhere is just incredible, good quality, good prices.
Very good prices. Well, some of them are a little exorbitant, but they're flanked by restaurants that aren't, so...
Yeah, there's some stuff, taking money from tourists but if you, it's easy enough to avoid that, and you can find good, affordable stuff. And thanks to COVID, unlike the last time we were here, everyone takes contactless payments, so I can pay for everything with my phone.
Yeah, you used to have to pay with pretty much everything in cash.
Yeah, but COVID actually kind of forced them to modernize pretty quickly. Also, you can do that on the subway. You can now add a subway card to your phone and just, hold out your phone as you walk in. It's very convenient.
Oh yes, we've been learning to navigate the subway system too.
Oh yeah, it's with Google Maps it's not hard. It gets you anywhere. It's, a delight to not have to drive.
Although there's a lot of walking and a lot of stairs. Stairs can be mitigated because the subways often have elevators for disabled, but the walking cannot be mitigated.
Yeah, and escalators for not disabled.
Yes, escalators. So escalators and elevators, but the walking you can't do much about.
Yeah, if you're out and about here, you're walking multiple hours a day. I think it's great.
Yes, but if you come, just be prepared.
Yeah, there's no way around it. Taxi is expensive and slow.
Most trips by car comparatively are slow.
Yeah, we know because our realtor took us by car to a couple of showings, and it takes forever to get anywhere, and he's stopping every 5 minutes to pay tolls. So it's kind of interesting to see cars as the second-class citizen.
I think that's mostly it for now. Just keep us in prayer about our application and upcoming challenges with furnishing the apartment and getting all the utilities set up and letting the government know that we live there now.
Yes. Luckily, their Amazon.jp is a thing, so we're gonna test that out. I think it's gonna be very useful. Apparently, some people even order their refrigerator that way. You totally can.
Although we found what is it called again?
Yodobashi camera.
Yodobashi camera, which I will include some photos. It's a place where the text screams at you from every angle, and I have no idea what it's screaming at me. But
yeah, it's it's a giant 8-story electronics store that's noisy in a way that's reminiscent of Times Square, visually noisy. I mean. But it's, good prices, lots of support staff. Hopefully one of them speaks English. We'll muddle through as we can.
If not, Google Translate has gotten better over the years, so their app is good.
And I want to buy a refrigerator is hard to mistranslate. So that's where we are. We're looking forward to attending more, events where we can meet people. And church on Sunday, of course, again. It might still be a couple more weeks before we can move into the new apartment. These things sometimes take time here for them to decide whether you're worthy of occupying one of their beloved units. I don't know why it takes several weeks to make a decision on that, or which god they're praying to about it, but that's how it is, and we'll just, pray and hope for the best.
Till next time, mata ashita.
Johnny.
Johnny. The birds, if you hold still, the birds will just come around your feet here.
They're hoping you drop crumbs.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of signs saying don't feed them, but clearly nobody pays attention to that by their behavior.
Mm-hmm. Where does it say don't feed them?
Oh, there's a sign back there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy.